We're back, baby. Tuesday night. Can you believe it's already been a week since we've last gone live in our last Let's Go show, guys? Want to appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here tonight, man. I'm a little tired, just a hint tired, just a little bit, because today we had to get up extra early to go down to Chicago, baby. We took the family down to Chi-Town, and I didn't realize how close we truly are to Chicago. I mean, an hour and a half drive when you're a kid is like an eternity, right? But when you're an adult, that goes by just like that. You know, a couple songs, couple chit chatter, and you are there. And we actually went to the Shed Aquarium. And I also, guys, didn't even realize. I mean, I grew up in Chicago as a kid. You know, I left there in high school when I was 18, and I didn't realize that Shed Aquarium is literally on top of Soldier Field. I didn't realize. I mean, you got Wacker Drive, all these streets that, like, when I'm driving through, I'm like, oh my God, like, this is home, baby. This is home. Wisconsin, I love you, but Chicago is home to me. Kids had a blast, wife had a blast. I thought, when I was a kid, that the Shed Aquarium used to be a lot bigger. It's definitely like when you get bigger, when you become adults, you're like, wow, this is actually not that big. What I thought, it was right next to the planetarium. I'd love to do that. Hey guys, it's on Lake Michigan. If any of you guys have ever been to the Shed Aquarium, it's phenomenal. We had a fun time there, and I was a hop, skip, and a jump away from the world's largest arcade. In fact, 27 minutes away from Galloping Ghost. And unfortunately, with the kids and all, we lasted about 4 or 5 hours down at the Shed. We had to go get some food, fuel up, and come home. So maybe we'll have to do Galloping Ghost in the future. I think that'd be really cool. You want to talk about overstimulated as all hell. You go down to Galloping Ghost, guys, the world's largest arcade. That would be a fun trip for sure. But we want to do something for the kids, something a little bit different. Had plans to meet up with Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger, guys, but again, the kids, just no chance. B. Kirby, I know if you're coming in late here, I know that you wanted to hang out. There was just no chance, man. The kids are, listen, they have fun, but I mean, when it's time to go, it is time to go. Like, they are in charge of the situation. So, kind of just went down there, kind of got out of the house a little bit, something different. What else? We had plans to meet up, but Ezekiel, my God, he's a busy man, guys. I truly didn't, like, if you actually talk to him, if you're friends with him outside the home arcade community, you'll realize how busy that man truly is. And you haven't seen him here for a while because we're working on a couple things. And the reason why I bring his name up, guys, is because he's got a couple of cabinets that I'm going to take off of his hands. I believe it's 3 Dynamo cabs and 2 Mortal Kombat cabs, because we're going to continue our modding adventure. And Danny, why? Like, a lot of people are going to say, why, Danny? What are you talking about? We're going XL. We're moving the drill. Double Dragon, Street Fighter, John D, Iconic Arcade, Basic Fun. It's all on pause, guys, as you know. It's all on pause. And, I could sit here and say, well, okay, let me enjoy what we got. And we're actually going to take a look at my personal home arcade, our family's home arcade, the CornerCade, tonight, because I'm going to kind of break down and show you guys what we're doing. And I also want to know what you guys are doing. So I want your feedback tonight, because it's important. It kind of gets my mind rolling and moving and grooving. I also have a poll up, guys, because speaking of modding, we have some mod projects coming up. Now, I know we kind of put things on pause. There was, I want to say what, Ezekiel, being busy that he is, he wanted to do WrestleMania right. He wanted his, like, personal touch on this. I was completely fine with using the red trim, right? And he's like, nah, Danny, you got to rip that off. You got to put the purple trim on there, which that would be phenomenal, right? Phenomenal. But I wasn't going to do that. I was going to iron on trim and stuff like that. I've never done it before. Don't want to mess up anything. I kind of use the stock trim cabinet and the form factor as part of my build going forward when I'm modding. It just helps make things easier at the end of the day. But yeah, so he wants to do that. So I'm not going to tell him no. I'm not going to tell him no, because it's going to make it that much better. But we got some other cabinets on hand, and I'll tell you what's going on with latest and greatest updates, guys. You see there's a hole right there. If anybody's noticed, there's a hole in the background, baby. We'll get to that, I promise you, okay? But before we start all that, we got a big modding adventure on hand. And trust me, I'm still all in on XL. We still are big fans of it. But with it being paused, guys, we got to fill the time a little bit differently. Yes, I could play walkabout mini golf at, midnight. But, what does that really do with the home arcade scene, right? What does that really do with our channel, right? We're not live streaming that, although we should. That'd be absolutely hilarious. You guys would tune in nonstop because it is the funniest stuff I've ever been through in my life. Like, honestly, just hanging out with the guys playing walkabout mini golf is completely a blast. But yeah, we gotta do things home arcade related. And so all of the projects that I said, pause real quick, because we got these XL cabinets coming out, and I kind of just want to put my attention there and my funds there. We're gonna kind of backtrack a little bit and kind of do some of these projects that I know you guys in the community will appreciate. We will love. I mean, that golden axe behind me is just so beautiful that the cabinets that we have coming out now are gonna be just as good, guys. And the coolest thing out of all this, guys, is you can do this at home. This isn't something that, well, if you only know how to drag MAME folders onto RetroArch and all this other baloney sausage, like, no, man. You don't have to sit here and soft mod an arcade 1-up Street Fighter cab for an hour and a half, dragging files, hacking the damn thing. I'm not going to do that, and I don't expect you to do that as well. This is all stock arcade 1-up hardware where you're simply unplugging it and plugging in it again. That's it. We're just swapping PCBs and encoder boards, guys. It's going to be any easier, right? Before we get started with all this jazz, okay? And let me know, too, in the chat, if you guys want to talk about anything as well. We can bring up topics as we go. I want to say hi to each and every one of you guys that are tuning in. We got 23 people in the house, guys. I'd appreciate it if you give this video a like if you haven't already. Calvin Wong, thank you so much, man, for being here. Julio Hernandez, never missing a show. Thank you so much, man, for stopping on by. Wishing everybody a happy Tuesday. Just for Fun is in the building. Says, you know, there's nothing wrong with just enjoying what you have and playing the games that you got. 100%. Like, that's kind of like what I want to know from you guys. Are you guys planning on getting something? You know, you look at, obviously, Arcade 1-up is like bare bones. You go to Amazon, and, you know, for cabs that I don't have, guys, it'd be Class 81, which I've owned twice and sold twice, or the claw machine. That's it. So maybe it's a Street Fighter Dynamo. Maybe it's a MK2 Deluxe, because those are good modding cabinets. So maybe you kind of go down that route. This is a sad comment, Stupid Fat Hobbit, and I saw it before the show, and it kind of brings a tear to my eye. It's kind of like where we are at our hobby, at our space, at the home arcade community. Says I've gotten to the point where I just turn my arcade on once a month. Once a month. I mean, those things are collecting dust now. And Stupid Fat Hobbit, if you guys haven't seen his arcade, go check his arcade out. It is awesome. His room tours are awesome. I just want to make sure that they're still on and working. The passion is gone. Wow. That sucks. Like, what is it going to take for the passion to come back? It's Stupid Fat Hobbit. I haven't seen you around for a minute. I can tell that you truly mean that, because you, like, the passion is gone. I can't say the passion is gone from me, you know, from us. You know, I don't know, you know, because I always find new ways to invent things, you know, reinvent things. Like, we're going to try to do with some of these mod projects. But yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. It's a sad comment, though. We're still Stupid Fat Hobbit. We're still here for you. Dan Z, thank you so much, man, for being here. As always, let's see. Provolone Joe, this is not a rerun. I know the thumbnails kind of look similar. I get that, right? I get that. You know, At Games got some stuff with they're coming out with pinball packs. What else do we talk about around here? You know, we talk about At Games. We talk about any other kind of the major home arcade, you know, companies that are doing stuff. Wonderland, not really doing anything right now on that aspect. Arcade 1-up, nothing really going on there. Iconic Arcade, nothing going on over there. Like, we could keep going. Basic Fun is pulled out. They're done, you know, as of right now, for any products coming out in 2025. So it's like everything's at a standstill. You know, everything's at a standstill. So that's why we're doing what we do, and we're trying to keep it fresh for you guys. But yeah, Alan says the price of Arcade 1-up units are going to jump up in value due to the tariffs. $2,000 per cab. I don't think so, man. It would be interesting to see what the price is. You know, does that make you kind of want to buy something to either have it or mod it? You know, you get that $4.99 price when they're on sale. They're $4.50, you know. So it's like, you know, do you want to get them now before they kind of hike up a little bit? And by a little bit, how much do you guys think they're going to hike up? You know, I don't really follow the percentage on these tariffs and what's going on. But what do you think? Do you think it's going to be, you know, $600, $700 for just a deluxe? That'd be crazy. It'd be crazy. Garage Gamer, no. We keep it fresh, baby. We keep it fresh. I can honestly post up any type of thumbnail, and I think you guys would be ready to let it rip, because you guys are awesome here and we make good conversation. I made the thumbnail literally an hour before the show started, and I was going to troll a little bit. I got a different thumbnail I was going to put up there. I think that would have been funny. would have been I quit, right? I can see what people would have said. Maybe we'll try that some other time. Just to kind of mess around and have some fun. Provolone Joe, come on now. Come on, cut me some credit here. We're always doing this, but we're giving updates with this. We're giving some updates to this because there are some things that have happened from last week that are different from this week, and so on and so forth. And we'll touch on that. I feel you on that. We'll touch on that. Jason, thank you as always for being here, man. Let's go. Really do appreciate you stopping by. We got Julio Hernandez says, I do feel that the home arcade community is not as strong as it once was. To some, the buying was just a hobby, not so much playing. So without any products available to buy, the kind of the excitement is dead. And that's part of the reason why we're modding. And Julio, chat, let me know, guys. You guys are obviously CornerCade subscribers, your crew members with us. You love to tune into the show. Do you see the difference between what we do here and what maybe other people do? Like, I don't buy this stuff just to like buy it and not play it. I play all my shit. It's crazy because I have 17 cabs where it's like, okay, I don't know if I don't have time to play all this. And I only have 17 arcades and a VR. I don't have retro gaming consoles or anything like that. I don't have a Switch. I have a mini PC coming, so maybe we can dabble. I'm trying to hope to maybe get some gameplay with you guys. That'd be kind of fun. But I struggle to play. And you got the Acades pinball table. It's got a dozen. I got like 30 pinball tables on that thing, which I might be buying a couple more packs, maybe like 1 or 2 or 3 before those go up May 1st. So in a couple days, those prices are going to hike up a little bit. You might want to get them now. The show is a travel blog. I bet you I could just, rebrand myself and just tell you what I did throughout the day. Wouldn't that be kind of funny? I don't do much, guys. It's not that exciting. Gramps Arcade, thank you so much, man, for being here. Let's go. Do you guys like when I play music in the background or no? Let me know. That's something I always wanted to let you know. Now that we switch to StreamYard, we can go and do cool things like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
I know B. Kirby, the Chicago Retro, or not the Chicago Retro, the Chicago Arcade guy. I'm sorry. I don't want to cross you and Ezekiel up, even though you're both from the Chi-Town. Let me tell you something, B. Kirby. Next time we go to Chicago, which will be sooner than later, we got to meet up at Galloping Ghost. I'm going to tell you that right out the gate, right? And anybody else that's from Chicagoland area, you got to come down to the Galloping Ghost. We're going to have fun there. 100%. But thank you so much, man, for being here. Mario and Sonic Films is in the building. Hey, CornerCade, quick question. I've always dreamed of having a home arcade, but with the economy and new tariffs, should I consider getting any arcade cabinets during this administration? That's up to you. Now, I will say this, okay? Check Facebook Marketplace. So I am on that religiously. I would say check that 3, 4, 5 times a day, right? Just go on there, hit the refresh button, type in Arcade 1UP, type in at games, whatever you want to do, right? Like, we were driving down to Chicago, but, we got gas in the hometown here and a car wash. And while we're in the car wash, my wife's checking, she's like, hey, I asked this guy about this Mortal Kombat. It was built, like, bubble wrapped. He moved. He wants to get rid of it, right? Like, pretty much pristine conditions. Mortal Kombat 2 Deluxe. And it was up for $1, right? Like, it's just saying, hey, give me an offer. And my wife came low. She was like $200. And he said $275. So now you got, like, a Mortal Kombat 2 Deluxe for $275. That's a steal. A lot of people are going to be buying used. Now, I will say this. If your passion truly is to start a home arcade, and you're going to see pictures of my home arcade in this show, so this is like perfect timing, right? I would do it sooner rather than later. You don't want to be caught with your pants down and have to, now you wait and you're paying an extra $150, $200 more a cabinet. You want to go the other way. You want to play less. Less is more. Trust me. You want to pay that $299 for that Dynamo. So that would, that's just my 2 cents. Do what you want. Start out with a couple cabinets. That's how I started out. I started out with 3 cabinets right in the corner of my living room. That's why it was called the CornerCade. That was perfect. I wish I had an old picture. You guys are gonna have to, if you're members of the channel, you're gonna have to scroll back 2 years through posts to then see those 3 cabinets. We had Street Fighter 2, the Legacy. We had Pac-Man Legacy, and we had the MVC 1 cabinet, all Swan designed out and everything. Man, have we progressed over the years? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's really cool to see like how the journey goes, not only evolution of yourselves and the community, but your home arcade and the arcade cabinets themselves. Like they all go through like a revolution and evolution. Garage gamer, we'll see. We will see. I'll say this. I asked my close knit type group here. I said, guys, should I even get a Switch? Like, is that like, because, and they were saying, dude, you're going to have 24 people racing in Mario Kart. It's going to be dope. Like Mario Kart alone, right? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I should. So I'm kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Ironically, I could have pre-ordered one. Like I had one double clicked ready to go to confirm the payment. I know a lot of people got their orders. Sometimes some of them canceled from Target, some of them not, but I was ready to go. I had it available. So it was pretty easy for me to get one. I just passed on it. I don't want to spend, I don't like pre-ordering too. I don't like pre-ordering and then, my several $100s just sitting there while I don't have a product. I don't like that feeling. I don't like that feeling. All right, Blast from the Past says, I missed Shack Jam for 300 in Milwaukee today. Yes. Okay, so did it sell? Because there was 2 of them up. That's a great example, too. There was 2 Shack Jams that I saw around the area. One was for 300. Another one was like make an offer or something. I think that was for like 400, but obviously, you can make an offer, right? So that's another prime example. Let's see here. Chris says, weather getting better. Time to enjoy the outdoors, Danny, but a new wave toys product and take it on a hike. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Go Hawks. I'm assuming you're saying Seahawks because the Go Hawks for me is the Chicago Blackhawks. But yeah, dude, I was on the fence with another product too. It was a Burger Time for like $145 off Amazon. They had a little bit better of a deal, 10-20 bucks cheaper on Woot. And I was like, did I get this? I don't really have a place to put this. I think it's dope, and I passed on the Dig Dug that they had back in the day from Numbskull Arcade. I passed on that, and that was like the same price too. I was gonna get that for my wife for Christmas, and because I thought it was really cool because Dig Dug's one of her favorite games too, right? I just passed on it. It's like, where are we gonna put this stuff? Like where are we gonna? We're not gonna play it really that much, But I would say having a new wave toys would be pretty cool. I would like that. I can put that on the desk because it's small enough, Look at Just for Fun says, you lowball my marketplace listening to I'll block you because you're the one getting screwed because now you have no luck on getting any of the cabinets. Hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So maybe somebody had this listing up for a long time and he said, hey, a couple $100 cheaper just to get it off your hands. A lot of these people just want to get it out of here, or you'll see the guys that post things for like absurd amounts of money. And 9 times out of 10, they're only doing that because their wives or girlfriends told them, post this shit and get it out of here, right? And so like, okay, we'll post it. We'll post it for Star Wars, $6,000, right? And then it'll never sell. So then at least it's a win-win situation. I thought that was always funny as well. But yeah, here. Okay, so Julio Hernandez says the tariffs are expected to raise everything with consumer electronics like phones. We can see price increase of over 30%. And that's exactly the wrong way you want to go. You want to decrease the price 30%. I mean, how cool would it be to get that Dynamo Street Fighter Deluxe again for $299 like they had it? I price matched mine. I had that, and that was a phenomenal deal. Yeah, that's crazy. $650. So Julio's saying it could be as low as 2% or even more. So a cab that $499 will start at $650. That's crazy. Like that's absolutely zero shot of that happening. No way. No way. All right, let's go here. Oh, love it. Absolutely. Please give the channel a thumbs up if you haven't. We always like to remind people, give the video a like and always leave a comment down below. Thank you so much, man, for watching. Or what's it? Miss for watching. I could not pronounce his name for the life of me, but Dufresne. I think tuning in from France. Yes, France. Let's go to France. All right, let's see. Provolone Joe, we can stop that stuff. Fly Eagles. Stop it. Get that stuff out of here. Bought a shack from a couple of months ago for $300. Just wanted to take another apart and start reproducing the cabinets. Okay. All right, so now that we're caught up, guys, now that we're caught up with the chat here, let's get this all squared away. Okay, so like I said in the intro, guys, we're still in on XL, And we're just kind of waiting now, right? And this could change tomorrow, right? But from the looks of it, it might not. Now I'm going to put the heat on a lot of these modding companies because there's a lot of things that I'm trying to get done and I want to bring to you guys so you guys can do it for yourselves. Now we ran into a couple of hiccups with some things. I'm just going to give a quick update on what is going on. So if you bring up Darkstalkers here, which I don't even have my background up here, let's do this. There we go. Little glow in the back. Okay. So Darkstalkers, real quick, guys. Just want to bring you a quick update on this mod project that we wanted to do. The PCB and encoder board. Tony C, if you're here or if you're watching, sent us a PCB and encoder board from the big blue red clot edition, right? Which I don't know if it's either the PCB or the encoder board, but it will not turn on. It will not work. So Tony C, I have those. If you want them shipped back, I can certainly do that. But we tested it out more ways than one, and it just was not working. So I know that everything else works because the Street Fighter that I tested it on turned on with the original hardware in it. So I couldn't tell him. I could see if I can finagle it a little bit more, swap encoder board, see if that turns it on. Then you would kind of know if it's the PCB or the encoder board. But it looks like, this project kind of just stopped just a little bit, just a little pause, because we got to get the PCB and encoder board for this. Now, a lot of these mod projects, guys, it's the internals and the externals. So the externals being the graphics, right? The graphics package that goes on this kind of brings to light what the cabinet is. But obviously, you have to have the games, right? So that's where we're at right now with this. So a little update. I will be building. I purchased a Street Fighter Dynamo open box, and I'll get into that in just a second. But I will be doing this still. This guy right here, the X-Men Deluxe that we got going on, okay? This one I should have, thanks to our boy James Hates Everything, and a little bit of G.I. Joe there because it's been passed down. I should have an encoder board and PCB for this that I will then, once received, swap it immediately into my MK, because I got 2 MKs right now. Right now, we're going to have a couple more, but right now. And for this one, I'm going to see if that'll be up and running. So it'll be really wacky, but X-Men would be running then on just the wrong control panel and no graphics, right? And then we'll get those things in trickling in. So I just wanted to give an update on that. Frogger, I got nothing for this one. I had a chance to get the PCB from Arcade One up there, selling that for like $50, I think. I just wouldn't have an encoder board. They're all out. So I'd need to find a control panel then do that. Obviously, I would love to get both at once so we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So I'm still looking for eBay and still looking for graphics. Now, as far as graphics goes, I hit up Joe Sabos for this graphics package and this package to be done immediately. So we need to play a little bit more phone tag to see where he's at with all that. Then we kind of take that going forward. Now, if anybody wants inspiration, take a screenshot right now for Bad Dudes in a Dynamo form factor. Now, my boy Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger, put this in that curved marquee. Obviously, you don't have to have somebody custom fabricate that. I just wanted to kind of bring it more authentic to you. You can put it in a regular Dynamo, right? From Arcade One Up, right? But go ahead, screenshot this. This was something that maybe be on the bubble of doing. I wouldn't be opposed to doing it. I think it'd be really cool. I think it maybe do you rather have Bad News? Do you rather have Double Dragon? Because I can do a Double Dragon like this. I think that'd be kind of cool too. Now, there's this one right here, Bad Dudes, right? Now you can do this. You take the Burger Time PCB and encoder board and you slap it in a Dynamo and you move the drill, right? Now, there was this guy right here. So we were taking the Mortal Kombat and we're putting it in the WrestleMania. Now that one's getting like the prime time treatment. So that'll be there too. So you got Darkstalkers, X-Men, Frogger, and WrestleMania that is on the docket currently right now. Just to fill you guys in on what's going on. Now, a lot of you guys are going to say, okay, well, so now what? You've talked about this before in the past. I get it, 100%. Yeah, oh yeah, Provolone Drone, trust me. I'm telling you right now. If I bring this back, I kid you not. If you guys saw what we did with our Golden Axe, you are going to go apeshit bananas for WrestleMania. I'm telling you right now, okay? It's going to be phenomenal. I already have the marquee here from Joe Sabos. I actually got that in a while ago. Ezekiel's got everything else. Ezekiel has a lot of things going on, not only family, but in his job. He runs 12 shops, guys. I couldn't even run one. He runs 12. Okay, insanity. So I gotta any 5 minute opportunity I have, I gotta just capitalize and say, hey, can you get this done today? Can you get that done? Can you just do a little bit of edge banding on the midway, the side of the control panel for me? Can you do this? Can you do? Because he's got it all. And then he's gonna come up here, drop it off. We'll see what we gotta do. Go down there, pick it up. We'll see what happens. But it's gonna be incredible either way. So trust me, it's gonna blow your socks off, right? And that's why I kind of wanted to do all these mods. So again, you ask, well, Danny, why don't you do I don't know, here, let's remove this guy here like this. Why don't you do like a Tekken, and a Dynamo, right? Well, Arcade 1-Up never did a Tekken. So I want to be able to make sure, I don't want to say, hey, okay, in order to do this mod, now you guys got to go buy a $300 mini PC. Like, I want this to be not only as affordable as I possibly can for you, because these cabinets, the graphics packages, depending on where you go, they could range to $150 to $250, depending on, you go on Repro Arcade, there's a lot of people out there, you go into Joe Sabos, and on top of all that, all you got to do is get the PCB and encoder board pretty much from Arcade 1-Up or used. So if you get them new from Arcade 1-Up, it's about $100. If you get them used off, eBay or Facebook Marketplace, who knows what they're charging, right? It's a more affordable option than throwing a mini PC in. Plus, you got to do all this stuff with it. Like, you got to get the ROMs on there, right? Not everybody like myself knows how to do that. I've watched tutorials, and it looks very time consuming. And I got ADHD, dude. I'm not in on that. I'd rather just start hammering away on the calves, drilling in. Yesterday I was messing around. I did the light up coin doors for Pac-Man Deluxe. Like, I wasn't really, I don't know how long I'm gonna have it. Maybe I have this for a lot longer now if everything's paused. So wanted to update all the coin doors. I finally got Golden Axe lit up right there. Shout out to Retro 530 for getting me that part that I needed. It was a couple of splitters and adapters for me to run that off the marquee light. So we were able to get that going, which is awesome. So we caught up with all these little things that we had to do around the arcade. But I digress. So before I show you next what's going to happen, I trust me, I want the WrestleMania cab to happen. Now, real quick, I know the WrestleMania cab, Arcade 1-Up didn't do that, right? 100%. I totally get that. Ezekiel said we're going to do a pie, and he's going to do it, right? So if you want to do that, maybe he can show how he did it and include it into the video that we're going to do. But that was kind of like a special one that we did up a long time ago. And then I thought to myself, well, what would be really cool? We've seen all these arcade cabinets that have got a makeover, right? All these deluxe cabinets that Arcade 1-Up has released, Class 81, the Pac-Mans, Mortal Kombats, the Street Fighters, everything, right? Even the Golden Tee, right? They all got like freshly made and redone. What are some cabinets that didn't get that treatment? That's what I wanted to do. Your Golden Axe never got that. Frogger never got that. Outrun never got that. What else is out there? Star Wars never got that. So I wanted to see, like, okay, what could we do to kind of bring these cabinets back into 2025? Bring the deluxe form factor too. And I'm telling you, those cabinets, and I did I show? I don't know if you guys seen this at all. Let's bring that down. Here's the Frogger, since we were talking about it. So these cabinets right here, we never saw Darkstalkers. Like, this could be dope, right? Like, so, and it'll be new games too. So a lot of you guys are like, well, it's like the Street Fighter PCB. Well, between the Street Fighter Deluxe that I have I'm building it right now in my living room, right? Which I got open box. I got it for $100 off. And then some of the panels were damaged. So Arcade 1-Up's got to send me those replacement parts out, which they're going to be doing on Friday. I should be getting that. So that'll be cool. So it'll be all good with that then. But Darkstalkers PCB coming from the Big Blue. You getting like 6 different games that's not on it's on the Street Fighter Dynamo. So total, you're getting about 18 games between the two cabinets. So I thought personally there's a lot of value in that. You talk about the Burger Time, boom, this could be a Burger Time cab. They never did a Bad Dudes Deluxe or a Burger Time Deluxe, right? There's so many things that Arcade 1-Up just never got around to doing, just because they ran out of licenses, ran out of money, ran out of time. Who knows, Let's see where we are with the chat. Before I want to catch up with the chat real quick before I show you what we're gonna do next. Kind of take a little tour here. See, Blast from Blast says, I tried to get a Burger Time PCB from Arcade 1-Up. They have it, but they don't have the encoder boards anymore. Yeah, see that I ran into that same situation. I was like, damn, man, because then you're screwed if you don't have they work as a team. So if you can't have one without the other. So then you just gotta wait. You know, you gotta wait for somebody to sell one, and Burger Time's gonna be hard to do that. So it looks like something like, you know, your Bad Dudes Deluxe will be on hold essentially. Oh wow, holy cow. Hold on a second. Whoa, hold on a second. Wow, that's crazy. This is
Perfect.
look at this. This is perfect. I have a brand new Frogger in seal box with a stool. Let me think about letting it go. That would be crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, so we want to give it that treatment that it never had. Oh man, that's crazy, B Kirby. How do you have this stuff? Brand new between you and MG. Once an arcade touches here, it is cracked open, ready to go. And that's another thing too. The Be Me. Look at you. He put the space in between, so we get the name right now. WrestleMania is one of my top 5 arcades, and that's where I was kind of thinking. You know, I was like, you know, because we were on our kick of doing our Killer Instinct Deluxe, and I was like, you know, it'd be really cool. It'd be really cool if we got, you know, we did it like a WrestleMania, right? And so that's where that kind of, I mean, yeah, because if it was up to me, guys, I mean, shit, I've seen so many people do like cool ass Big Blue mods that literally transform the cabinet. Now that is going to cost a couple $100s for the Big Blue because it needs so much. But it would be really cool to do like an anthology collection of Street Fighter, you know, skin it Alpha 3 or Third Strike. It'd be really cool to do a Tekken cab. I mean, there's so many cabinets out there that would just be totally badass to have in your home arcade, right? And we'll get to that when we're talking here, because I'm going to show you guys what's going on in my arcade. Gantry G, the man, the myth, and the legend. The reason why I have that big killer Midway golden tee behind me. Thank you so much, dude. Really, really do appreciate it. Watching my back and watching out for the CornerCade. For me, I prioritize the most powerful PCBs that I can, as Arcade 1-Up tends to have underpowered boards, can't emulate fast enough, or lag frame rate to kill the fun. And he is 1,000% correct. I was working with somebody on Facebook Marketplace about possibly getting some games soft modded for me on one of the Android type cabinets. So you take an Android PCB, whether it be Simpsons or Street Fighter, right? Because they're Android based. And you kind of put whatever you want on there. It couldn't run Alpha 3. I'm like, how can you not run Alpha 3 on this? That's how underpowered these things are. It starts to scare me a little bit when Arcade 1-Up starts running out of parts and your cabinets go. It's like, then they're done. Our boy Brian, Chaotic BPR, is running into that. His Killer Instinct died. Like his PCB died. They don't have any parts for that. He's SOL. Like, that sucks, man. Like, Blast from the Past says, are they sending you the panels that were damaged for free? Yes, because it's under warranty. I think they have like a 90-day warranty. I took pictures, showed them, hey, look, this thing got like ran with a forklift. Help a guy out, right? And so I pretty much it's like all 4 panels. It was 3 out of the 4 panels that were kind of that the trim, the edge banding was like shoved. It was bad. I should have showed pictures on the show, right? It was pretty bad. The damage was significant enough where it's like, I can't really fix this or get away with this if I built it. So let's just go ahead and replace it, right? And it didn't come with a coin door. I was actually missing the coin door. So they got to send that to me too. Don't worry, we're gonna get it all straightened out. And it'll look all good. Ironically enough, I don't have a Street Fighter, so if Darkstalkers doesn't end up working out, I still needed a Street Fighter, right? And I got to do my Sonic Booms and my Hadoukens, right? So, you know, ironically enough, it'll still work. And I'm going to put it right behind me right here. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Let's see here. Okay, here. Look at B Kirby. He just sent over something. Let's see. Oh, this guy. So he just sent me this. He's got this. Dude, you gonna try to sell that for $800? Let's go, dude. Let's do it. Yeah, I mean, I need the PCB and encoder out of there. I probably should just buy it from you, take the guts out. That sucks because it's such a valuable cabinet, right? And then sell like an empty shell, sell the stool, and just sell everything. I had to do that with Killer Instinct. I had to sell everything just willy-nilly because nobody was buying it, right? The old Killer Instinct. So I just sold everything for parts, and it sold for more than what I had it listed for. It's crazy. What's up, Izzy? Thank you so much, man, for stopping by. Let's do it. Let's see here. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, we already did that project, although even though I sold it, could try to bring that back, you know, that'd be something else. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reach out to the community if Arcade One Up can't come through. I'm gonna have to see if I can buy something from somebody to try to make this happen here. Okay, so long story short, here is what we got going on. Let me put me up here. Okay, guys, so this is a wide angle shot of row number 4 or 5 of the CornerCade. So I have everything on smart plugs, and it kind of goes through that, right? Now, this is what you see behind me, and then you can't see all the way from NBA Jam on because it's always off camera, right? So this is what we got going on. So let me just kind of update you as we go row by row here. So everything's fine, up to NBA Jam. Now, yes, could I put 19-inch screens in Time Crisis and Big Buck? Yes. But we're going to wait because I want to get these other mod projects done first. So NBA Jam, I got G.I. Joe working on a 2-player control panel, an XL control panel to make that 2 players. Now, as you guys see, I don't think I can zoom in here. But you guys see that there's space in between. There's about 6 inches, give or take, on each side. Okay, that's about 12 inches, maybe 10 inches. We'll see, right? You squish that together. On the back of Fast and Furious there, to the right-hand side, you got about 8 inches of space before it hits that curtain. So if I can get my hands, the sooner I can get my hands, the better. If I can get my hands on that 2-player control panel, I will have enough room to get another deluxe in there. And now you say, well, why would you need another deluxe? Well, for right now, while we're doing the mod projects, right? And you don't know. I mean, this, guys, I don't want to have doom and gloom to the home arcade community here, but this could be the end, right? This, before John D even started, Iconic Arcade could close this project down and be over with it, right? And now I purged a lot of our cabinets, which stinks. But a lot of them were, hey, we can rebuild this, but better. Like X-Men, for example. We did a fantastic job on that, but we can make it better. We can give it that slanted control panel that it never had, And that's going to be the goal here going forward. So I got the 2XL cabs there, the Shack Jam, and the Midway Golden Tee, right? So we'll obviously hang on to those, see what happens, see what transpires, and then kind of go from there. So I get another deluxe in here. Now it could be anything, right? And I put that to the left of Fast and Furious and move that down. Okay. So now as we scroll here to row 3, kind of backtracking here, right? Row 3. This is what we got. We got the Dig Dug and we got the Pac-Man. Now the Pac-Man, you're gonna see a lot of Pac-Man coming up, guys. I just want to warn you. But again, we're gonna be modding a lot of things. So just wait. This is the rebuild. This is the CornerCade 3.0, baby. We're back. Dig Dug, I want to sell. I want to get it out of here. Okay, we got too much repetition. Because to me, personally, guys, as you go on, you're going to see why. This Dig Dug cabinet, I'd much rather have, if we're splitting hairs here as far as going Pac-Man to Pac-Man, I'd rather have a Class of 81 Deluxe because I can have Rally X on there. Now, obviously, I'd rather have like a Dynamo Tekken, right? This is silly talk if you don't think I'd rather have a 90s game, whatever the case, right? Hell, I would rather take an Atari 50th and reskin it to like Asteroids and still keep the gold trim. I think that would be dope. A Blast from the Past must be right near me because he's thinking about buying my Dig Dug. So this one I want to move off of just because I want to get a deluxe cabinet in there. Even though we modded it, we made it with the Joel Reiser and stuff. I want to move off there because there's too many duplicate games. I have this cabinet now times 3, right? Times 4 technically. All these cabinets that are in this circle right here, and if you see, we don't have the cabinets facing your direction anymore. We had to make the rows again because we're getting more cabinets back. But all these are the same games, right? All of them are the same. So what we want to do is we want to move off of this. Now, obviously, you see here the Pac-Man. There you go. Okay, I know exactly who you are. You bought a Class 81. It's funny how we want to get that back in now. It's literally crazy how the tariffs just change the game, man. It literally changes the game. But the Pac-Man Plus here, I kind of want to make that into the Frogger Deluxe. That's where we want to go. Frogger Deluxe for that one. It's going to look phenomenal. Trust me, we're going to do it right. So that's what we have right there. That's kind of where we're left off right there. Now let's go to the back side of that, right? Pac-Man, Galaga. I will tell you this, guys. I'm looking at these two right next to each other. And I'm like, man, how badass actually would this look? Now, listen, I'm not the most biggest, 1980s, Pac-Man fan, right? But how cool and nostalgic would this look like if you had Pac-Man, Galaga, Class of 81, and Miss Pac-Man all lined up? That would look incredible, right? Like just with the form factors and everything. Same cabinet shape. But we got the Pac-Man and we got the Galaga. Essentially, this is the same cabinet. What's going on, Hoots? Thank you so much, man, for stopping by. Let's do it. Let's do it. Chris has a question real quick. He says, the one I question your sanity of getting rid of Star Wars. That's a no-no and shouldn't be out of registration for it. Yeah, I kind of looked at around the arcade, right? And I said, obviously, I probably should have. It's tit for tat, right? It's like you keep it. When you have the cabinet, right? You're like, okay, I played it. I could let it go, right? And then you don't have it for a while, and you're like, man, I shouldn't have gotten rid of that, right? Like you kind of miss the games, right? Like you get that feeling. It's kind of like buyer's remorse or seller's remorse in this example. But yeah, you're not wrong, But I was kind of like moving on to deluxe form factors and trying to get off the risers and kind of just keeping Cavs Unity, that Unity form factor. And I know that sounds kind of silly, but to each their own, man. It's your home arcade, right? And so yeah, I don't. We'll see. Maybe it comes back. Yeah, who knows, right? Like it might not, and that's the thing that sucks. Like you can't once you sell it, it's gone. Unless they make it again. Sir Sega says I threw my Intech deck into my Golden Axe Death Hunter cab, sold it for 180, helped offset the cost of the Zabos Arcade. Now, Sir Sega, are you going to be doing that Golden Axe that you see behind us, my guy? Is that what you're trying to do? Because man, that's how it should have been done from day one. That's how it should have been done. Hoots says Star Wars XL is the only arcade one-up I'd buy going forward. I believe, Hoots, you have the Pac-Man XL, don't you? You have that one, right? Oh, stop, Thor KC. This was a long time ago. I sold Star Wars eons ago, guys. Eons ago. The crazy thing that sucks is I actually put a light-up coin door in it, and it actually looked badass. And then I sold it. I was like, oh, because I was kind of going through, and it's you make decisions and not always the right ones. But I will tell you what, I got this Pac-Man for $250. This thing's like brand new. So I think I made a good decision there because I could always sell that for more, So, obviously we'll have more cabs coming out this way. But this is what we got in row 2. Now, the big one here, row 1, which you kind of see behind me, we got a big blank spot there. We got a couple duplicates. We got a lot going on. So Miss Pac-Man, we scored for that $225 deal from Walmart. Phenomenal deal. Again, it's like a buy one, get one at this point. So the price of that Pac-Man I just showed you and Miss Pac-Man equals Miss Pac-Man. So it's like a buy one, get one, essentially. And I could always sell those, obviously, if XLs come in and we kind of do our thing. Now, to the right of that, I'm gonna keep Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat staying. That's gonna stay that, not changing. Remember, guys, Ezekiel has 3 Dynamo calves and 2 Mortal Kombat calves to do modding with. So that's 5 cabinet opportunities for us to do something cool. Now, X-Men 97, we're going to keep that. In the blank hole, I'm going to keep Street Fighter there. Don't know if that'll end up being like a Darkstalkers. I think down this row, guys, I'll probably end up having like, I don't know. I'm just talking out loud here. Maybe we do Street Fighter. We do WrestleMania. You do Children of the Atom. You do X-Men, which is going to be in this second Mortal Kombat right here. We're going to make that into an X-Men Deluxe. Then I don't know, maybe you throw whatever there, right? This Pac-Man, the claw machine, right? Because then you can easy access and you can load it from the right hand side because it's the last one. Who knows? ID-Tron, I had Tron. I sold that for $400 back in the day, and well, maybe $450. We had Tron. We had a lot of cabinets come through these doors, guys. I bought like 60 cabinets from our Q1 up, if not more. We've had Dragon Slayer, Tron. I know some of those. It's just a lot of them didn't get played. You gotta understand, guys. So I know, I know a lot of kids saying it's criminal that I sold the Star Wars. What is even the point if you don't have a Star Wars or Tron? I actually had both of them at one point, but again, like I love the '80s. I think I'm a big I love Dig Dug. Obviously the Pac-Mans, right? Those are but Galaga I love. Frogger's okay, right? But I Centipede, I think Centipede and Dig Dug, like I play the most as far as like 80s games go. Maybe a little Tempest action. We don't have an Atari cabinet in the arcade anymore. But when it comes to Tron, Star Wars, I played them, but I was like, they're okay. They're okay. Like Star Wars is cool. But I like the uniqueness of having a yoke and something different than the sticks and buttons. But we just like they just didn't get a lot of game. Like if you're telling me this, right? Let me just and to each their own, right? But if I had like a Tekken cab and like let's say a Street Fighter 3 cab or something, and I had Star Wars in there, I probably would never touch Star Wars. Like I would love having it in the arcade. The sounds are cool. I would play it every once in a while, but it wouldn't get nearly the amount of gameplay that a mid to late '90s arcade would get, or an early aughts arcade would get, because that's just my nostalgia. It's so cool to like see other people's nostalgia. Like I never played Atari Star Wars before arcade went up, right? I never played a lot of these '80s games before I met arcade went up, and I just because I never came across them really in the arcade. I was just focused on the '90s games that I love. Terminator 2, right? Saw that in the movie theaters. We played that, right? It's funny because that one came through and we sold that one. We sold Ridge Racer. But yeah, I don't know. It's each their own, right? Like here Jason's gonna say, if you don't have a Star Wars, Tron, Dragon Lair, and Tempest, you might as well throw in the towel. I had all those at one point, so I can totally understand it. I had those at one point. Tempest looks good when it's like fully modded, right? You gotta have the Joel inline riser, you gotta have the waterfall deck, you gotta have the right marquee. You guys gotta understand too, like I'm working with templates now that are going to include. So let's bring these guys back real quick. These templates now that we're working with, you look behind me at the Frogger, right? This is the deluxe version of Pac-Man Plus, right? You look at this, the Dynamo, the Street Fighter Dynamo. I'm working with only deluxe, right? Maybe this Mortal Kombat 2. So you got to get creative on what did Arcade 1-Up release in the past, and what can I bring back to a deluxe form factor? Because as much as I'd love to support Joel, GI Joel and his inline risers, you got to spend $100 for that. So now I'm up in cost with all these different. I'm trying to make it as cheap as possible for not only myself, right, but anybody that wants to do this. So like, let's say I got a big blue tomorrow, right? I had a big blue too for $150. I sold it for 400. I shouldn't have never. Not looking back, I shouldn't have sold it. But not only do that by the graphics package, you got to get a 99 Lives control deck. You got to get a GI Joel inline riser. You're gonna have to get a coin door. You're gonna have to vinyl the front. Like there's so many things you got to do. Speaker grills, stickers, whole art package. It's a lot. Like it added up to almost $1,000, and I'm like, dude, do I really want to spend $1,000? And that's without even trying to get Alpha 2 and 3 on there, right? So take the games out of there again, because you still got to buy a pie and stuff. Like, do I want to spend that kind of money on like this? That's a lot. So I don't know. It's each their own. Somebody might have nostalgia for that, right? And want to get it. So what are you guys up to in the chat here? Thor says Dragon's Lair can be up for them for some people. For me, the Replicade works for him. Yeah, like we had Dragon's Lair, beautiful looking cabinet, so cool. Like if I were to, let's say I had unlimited space, right? Yeah, fuck yeah, Dragon's Lair can be in there. Hell yeah, get the attract mode plan. Dragon's Lair, like right, like Space Ace, the Final Frontier, like have that playing in the background. Hell yeah, that's nostalgic, baby. The look, the DMD, awesome stuff, right? Like for sure. But we're on a limited space here, So it's like, did it get a lot of gameplay? No, it was hard as hell too. But like, if I had unlimited space, right? If I had a basement, hell yeah, I wouldn't have gotten rid of half of these arcade cannons. I got to be honest with you. I probably would have made them just better. An inline riser, a Joel inline riser on Dragon's Lair will look awesome. And that's literally all it needs, because you got to raise it up, right? It's too low. So that's literally all it needs. It's for that Joel inline riser, perfect, because you don't need anything else. There's nothing else you really need, right? They got the marquee, they got the form factor, they got the control panel. So really, you would only need that. Blast from the Past says, I worked at Aladdin's Castle in Kenosha. Just traveled through Kenosha today. We're seeing Kenosha action coming back. Mortal Kombat was my game, but it's the game that got all of us fired because after close, we drink beers and play it for free. That's hilarious. I about threw off my hat in the car as I'm driving down memory lane here, right? Herms was the place that my parents used to take me and my brother to get a couple dogs, a couple Chicago dogs, right? And that's where I played Mortal Kombat 2 that I can remember from my childhood. That's when I remember the side art of the cabinet, the big beefiness of the cabinet. They had like a couple other arcades there. I don't remember this. I only remember Mortal Kombat 2. And I was freaking out to my wife, right? Kids are sleeping in the car. I'm like, oh my God, honey, honey, honey. Look, that's where Blockbuster used to be. Because it was next to this weird looking building. It was just weird looking, right? Like architecturally weird, right? It's still there 25 years later. And I'm like, honey, that's where Blockbuster used to be. Now it's a different place now, right? I remember going there. Across the street was Herms. And like I in my head thought that these were blocks and miles away from my house. I'm like, my old house is gonna be in here somewhere. And I'm like, holy shit, that's the park. It was like 2 minutes away, right? So as a kid, I'm walking all over town, riding a bike. I mean, it's different now, right? You just get lost in the village somewhere and go have fun with your friends. It's just different now. Everybody just stays inside and plays video games. But I was like, oh my God, that's the old apartment we used to live in. And we moved several times within that vicinity of the Chicagoland area. And we had like 4 different apartments, one house at one point. But man, oh man, to go back 20, like you're walking down memory lane, like there are still buildings that are the same there, right? Like your Hermses of the world that like have never gone out of business. And obviously there's new developments I mean, we're talking 25 years, people. And so I went back there and I was like, holy cow. And we ate at the McDonald's that I used to eat at when I was a kid. Like, because we just stopped off for the kids, you know? I was looking at my wife, I was eating, I was like, you know, it's crazy to think that I was a kid eating here and now I have my kids eating here. It's like full circle, right? I don't have that feeling like up here where I live because I didn't grow up here, you know? So it's the first time ever that like nostalgia really hit me. And I was like, holy shit, like this is crazy. Like this is this, that, the other. Like I wanted to stay down there more just to drive through the town and like show my wife, like, oh my God, like I remember like we used to do this. We used to play basketball there. We played baseball there. Like, oh, so it was just cool. Just like just have that moment. That's something that I have never experienced because when I moved when I was 18 up to Wisconsin, that was it. I never came back really, you know. But okay, where we at here? I digress. Okay, so those are the plans, long and short. So we have room to expand. Obviously, we're doing that. Dark Soccer's gonna need. We're gonna need a little bit of love here for. Hold on, I got like 12 images up. So Dark Soccer's we still got to work on to sum it all up, guys. X-Men will actually be here sooner than anything, which is insane because I didn't think that this would. You know, this is modding for you. You got to just keep checking. Maybe you guys in the community can help reach out to me. And if you find something, you can certainly email me at thecornercade@gmail.com, guys. Because if you find a PCB and encoder board for sale, let me know. Because we're going to need it for any of these games. Now, X-Men, I'm not going to need it for that. But I'm going to need it for Darkstalkers. And definitely for Frogger. I think that's the top 3 right now. X-Men, Darkstalkers, and Frogger. And WrestleMania is already taken care of. That just needs to be built by Ezekiel when he gets some time. Chris says, just get your neighbors kicked out. Take the wall room and make it a bigger arcade. That'd be dope. By the way, you'll never believe this, but our neighbors actually have their own home arcade. And it's crazy because I looked out the window one time and I'm like, huh? I didn't order no Simpsons and Shack Jam. And I went out there, I was like, did my wife order this? Or I was really confused. And I called her up. I was like, honey, look what's at the front door. And she's like, oh, I didn't order anything. That must be for the neighbors. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I was like, the neighbors ordered arcades. And so then we would see, like, every week they would get, like, a new one, right? X-Men 97. Like, I forgot what else they bought. It was, you name it, right? And then my wife told them that I do, like, a show. She, like, saw them outside one time. This was a long time ago when I was still working. Like, and she was, like, explaining the show. And I'm like, oh, God, don't tell them that. So I came out one time, they're like, "Yo, CornerCade!" And I was like, "Oh my god, right now, what did you guys start?" But it'd be cool to see their setup, and then that, they can come take a look at our setup, right? That's how it is. That's how it is. Julio says, yes, for the first time I saw MK2, I was at Peter Piper's Pizza, and the first fatality was Kung Lao split in half with the saw and hat. Fun times. Yeah, I never did any fatalities. I just pretended to play when I was a kid and had some fun. I don't remember how old I was. I mean, good God. Had to be anywhere from like 9, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in between there. I don't, it's been a while. It's been a while. All right, guys. Yeah. Sell your cabinets to them. Yeah, I was thinking, I always kind of floated the idea. I don't have problems selling my cabinets at all, actually. But I was thinking about, oh, maybe like the MVSX, I could buy that, because that one kind of like wasn't selling. There was a couple of them that took like a while, but normally speaking, they sell really quick on Marketplace. And yeah, that would be funny if I just said, "Hey, you want to just buy one of mine?" Be an easy transition. You just moving on over to next door. Haunt K says, I have a Joust PCB not being used. The only problem though, guys, I need PCB and encoder board. That's what we're looking for. So I appreciate reaching out to, because it is very helpful. But I need both PCB and encoder board. Well, Hoots, I mean, half of it is I got my signature on the kick plate, and they're like, dude, the CornerCades, you gotta have that cab, dude. No, I'm just fucking with you. I don't know. I price it. Hoots, I price it for $400 normally. Unless it's like a special one, like my Killer Instinct sold for 600. I don't know. I price them fair. It's not like I'm trying to make money off of these things. I just wanted my money back so I can like kind of do something else in the home arcade and kind of use that funds to transfer over to do something else. But yeah, I put them up for that price. Take good pictures. That's like always put video on there. I don't ever really do that, but I take really good pictures of showcasing everything, the marquee, the deck. Think about what if you were shopping, what do you want to see, right? You got to see like, okay, I want to make sure there's no damage on this thing and it's clean, right? It's clean. So take the extra 10, 15 minutes to also clean it off. I always make sure my cabs are dust free all the time. All the time. No, I just post them on Marketplace, just in the normal Marketplace. I don't post them in any other groups, just Marketplace, and they usually get pretty good. I'll have to hound Ezekiel for that. Julio, this is Mrs. CornerCade cap. See if I can get some more CornerCade hats. I think it'd be really cool if I had a link on my YouTube page, because he gets them from his guy, that he could just take all the profits in the world. I just want to sell my CornerCade hats on the YouTube channel, like a little link on a store. And oh my God, those would be flying like hotcakes. So maybe I can revisit that with him and try to set that up, because like I said, I don't want to take any profit off of it, but I want you guys to have CornerCade hats, and this guy can make them and he'll just ship them out to you. I think that'd be a win-win. I think I could revisit that now that I'm thinking about it. Oh yeah. So okay. So do you guys have any questions on anything that we discussed here? Do you guys have anything that you want to add to the conversation at all before we get out of here? That that's where we're at. That's where we're at right now. We're taking it week by week. Friday, I should have not Mortal Kombat. I should have Street Fighter built. And I'm trying to think. And then X-Men PCB and encoder board should be installed. So maybe for you channel members out there, you'll see a little sneak image of that. And then I'm gonna hound Zabos for some graphics. So if I can get X-Men, I'm gonna have to order a G.I. Joe panel for that to make sure we get the right button layout. And then I'm gonna have to go ahead and place an order for some graphics, and hopefully I can see how fast he can get those for me. Sony 4K, thank you so much, man, for being here. It says buy stuff. Mini PC mod has the control board and all the games mapped out correctly. Ooh, that's always good when you have everything mapped out. I'm a plug and play guy. I don't like to do any button mapping. I don't like to do any dragging of files, any of that stuff. Hoot says he's in Arizona and there's tons of people out here, so I didn't think I'd have any trouble, but the people message me, never follow through. That happens from time to time when you're selling on Marketplace. And I get a lot of dumb offers too. I just ignore them. It's just silly talk, and then eventually somebody will come in and say, "I'll pick it up tonight" or whatever. I'm like, "Dude, bet, let's go." But yeah, make sure your cabs are clean. You gotta have clean cabs, dust free, man. Dust free is the way to be. Yeah, you were saying it's so easy they sell themselves. Yeah, I met this guy in person. He bought Class 81 from me. You should know. You should know how clean my calves are. I keep them clean. Danny, we need to do road trips to pick up some of those used games. Indiana's a gold mine. Yes, that is 100% correct. Ohio and Indiana, guys, if I lived there, I'd literally be broke because they have calves for sale up the wazoo. Like, it's insane. And real arcades and home arcades, dude. It's crazy. Ohio and Indiana. Because whenever I'm like, oh, this is a good deal. It's a good deal on this. And it's like, oh, it's Indiana. I don't want to drive to Indiana to get this, right? That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, anytime, man. Anytime. That's what I'm here for. Try that out and list it for 400, see where it goes from there, right? See what happens. It goes from there. As long as it's clean, dust free, this is the way to be. And you showcase it nice, take nice pictures of it, you'll be good to go. You don't want any of the fuzzy pictures. Remember, you want to see as a buyer and a seller, you want to know, like, if you were buying this, what would you want to see in it, right? What kind of description do you want? Because my home is a smoke-free home, it's a pet-free home. So we put that on there too, because some people don't, might have allergies or don't want, their calves smelling like they're coming from a bar, anything like that. Yeah, see, told you. It's a sweet spot. It's a sweet spot. It's a good deal for everybody. Because think about it. It's about $100 off retail, right? It's already built, and you're not losing your tail on it. It's not like you're selling it for $250 and losing your tail, right? So I won't ever let a cab go generally for under. Dig like I have for 300 right now, but I really wouldn't let it go for under 400. And Dig Dug's crazy because Dig Dug has been heavily modded. So we have a lot of things that are in there. So it's a better Dig Dug than what you would get retail by far. Fourth Horseman says, just wait it out, bro. Not having a few calves won't hurt you. Not a good time to buy anything right now, in my opinion. And that's fair. I think if I didn't have a YouTube channel to kind of give you guys content and kind of share the love for home arcades, I don't know how much modding I would do. I probably would still do this, to be quite honest with you. And a lot of people is like, well, you can say, well, Danny, you're just doing this for content, right? Well, I mean, like, how many views does this really get, right? How many views is my Golden Axe getting? Only 2,000. You guys act like, I'd be trying to get 36,000 views on this, right? I think at the end of the day, it's sharing the love of the game, sharing the love of retro gaming with you guys. Because I'd be doing this probably without you guys as well. If I didn't have a YouTube channel, I probably would still be modding this because it would be nitpicky of me to do so. Because, I'd have all these cabinets. I'm like, I want to make them fresh again. I always had that itch to do that. And it pays off. That Golden Axe is phenomenal. I absolutely love it. Oh, Galaga Deluxe, that is right behind me here. Let's find a picture here. Let's get this guy down. Let's do that. There it is. There's my Galaga Deluxe. There you go. I said, Sony, before you came here, I said this image would look great if I had Class 81 next to it, then put the Miss Pac-Man that I have next to that. Like, oh, that'd be dope. Like, just all that same style cabinet. That would be really cool. Chris says, yes, keep them clean. Tried to buy a Rampage, and it was caked in cat hair. Oh, God. Dude, I don't want to throw up. It smelled like a urinal. Oh, God, dude. No. Yeah, you can't do that. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry you had to go through that. That's awesome. Sounds good, man. We'll definitely set something up for the Dig Dug. Appreciate you. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll kind of share this a little bit here since we were talking about it. Yeah, that's gross. But yeah, here you go. Here's the setup that we got going on. And like I said, we're gonna be adding more. The only thing I don't have would be the claw machine, which I don't know, guys. What do you think about the claw machine? I do have a poll going in the chat as well. We'll check that in a second. The claw machine, my kids would love, but I don't know if I want that in the arcade. I don't know if I want that in the arcade. So the claw machine and Class 81. Do I bring Class 81 back for a third time? Brooklyn, thank you so much, man, for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Let's see here. Let's add this back. Since you guys were talking about it, let's remove that. There we go. You guys said you love the wall art. I appreciate it. This is pretty basic, simple stuff that we did. I will say this: if we had our own house and we could paint the walls black, I would probably have a graffiti artist, and I've said this numerous times, like a graffiti artist come in, kind of spray paint and paint some like really cool, like, retro, like, Pac-Man figures and Street Fighter stuff. I think that'd be kind of cool. They'd be retro, be dungeony. Maybe we do it even like in like glow in the dark paint, So like when you turn the lights on, it like reflects. That'd be really cool. Um, but yeah, we're only limited to so much that we can do in an apartment, right? There's only so much we can do. And my wife already said, she's like, there's no exception. We would have arcade carpet. She said that I'm not bending on that. So you can kind of visualize this. It would have arcade carpet as well. Be in a basement. We get it to the work layout to where you have maybe, I want to say you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe you have 6 rows of arcades. Oh man, that'd be cool, right? Maybe you do like 10 deep, right? 10 across, right? That would be really fun. It'd be really cool, like setting your streaming setup and having that behind you. That'd be some really cool stuff. Space is always an issue in this hobby, and this is why we are not big fans of the 4-player control panels for sure. We need a token machine just for decoration. We'll say this, so you can't really see it. I didn't really take a picture of this, but if you see the left of the At Games Legends pinball, I have some black curtains, right, to kind of close it off because that leads into a hallway, which leads into a bathroom, right? It's really cool having a bathroom right off the CornerCade. I'll tell you that much. Um, but I was thinking about putting, if we got another pinball machine, let's say we pick up the Wonderland pinball, right? And we have the Wonderland pinball and the At Games pinball, and we put those in the closet, right? One of those right hand side closets. It would literally be right on the other side of this wall, so you would still see it. Like we take the curtains down, be right, right on the other side of that wall there. Then it had room for another XL cabinet where the pinball machine was, so it gives us a little bit more room there. And look at this. B Kirby already said, he says, my little brother is a well-known graffiti artist in Chicago, and he has tattoos too. Get the claw machine for the kids, in my opinion. Guys, do you think I should? Like, I truly want to know your opinion. Let me tell you this much. Okay. I have some gift cards, and it would be like $2.99. The claw machine would be $2.99. I could get Class of '81 for $2.99. Again, bring it back in the arcade and just leave it, right? Or I could get like a Dynamo cabinet to do a future mod with, or I can get the claw machine. Maybe I need some help with that. This is kind of what I'm thinking too. And I get it. Listen, I love my kids, and the kids trust me. The kids love these arcade machines. So it's not like I'm not doing it for the kids. The kids play Fast and Furious literally 25/7, right? That's even a thing. If that's even a thing. Kids love the Pac-Man. Trust me. They're going to love these arcade games no matter what. But I feel like when I bring a claw, if I bring a claw machine in, right, that I'm taking the arcade and I'm bringing it in like Dave and Buster territory, and that's where I don't want to go. I don't want to do that. That's just for me. Like, how do you guys feel about that? Like, I don't want to be like this this is a retro arcade. It's a retro arcade. Let me see where the poll is standing right now, guys. It says, what interests you more? The WrestleMania Deluxe, the Darkstalkers Deluxe, the X-Men Deluxe, or the Frogger Deluxe? And right now, guys, with a split tie down the middle with 54 votes in, man, I really appreciate everybody for at least throwing a vote in, because we only have 45 people watching. Let's go. We have more votes than people watching. That's absolutely incredible. And that's a kudos to you guys for engaging in the chat here. That is awesome, guys. I know people come and go. They'll check the replay. No worries. I take no offense to that. People have a busy lives. WrestleMania and X-Men Deluxe are tied straight down the middle. And I'll tell you this much. X-Men might come sooner than later. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Dave and Buster's either, man. Like, I'll take my kids there or whatever, but it's about retro arcades. And actually, I gotta challenge you this much, guys, and I'm raising them right. I think my kids might actually like the retro arcades more than Dave and Buster's, because when they say arcade, they specifically mean like the Garcade. They don't want to go to the Dave and Buster's, and I've taken them to Dave and Buster's twice, and I've also taken them to Round One before. And yeah, it's cool, right? But they always float back to going to a retro arcade. And I don't know if it's because they're used to what emulates behind us. But that's how I'm raising them. I'm raising them on this, not on the VR and the claw machine. Trust me, not doing that. And again, they'll probably change. They'll probably grow with times, right? And they probably won't even like arcades when they're older. Who knows? So we had air hockey in the 80s arcades. I don't know. It's hard for me, chat. It's hard. I don't know what I want to do. Hoot says, I think your kids would love it, but I think you would lose its luster pretty quick. Plus, you have to do the upkeep and stock it yourself. That's the other thing, too. Guys. It's like, yeah, you fill up with a bunch of rubber duckies, and I'll put some candy in there. But it's like, I feel like too. I feel like it would lose its luster quick. The games you play that every time. Like NBA Jam doesn't lose its luster. Time Crisis doesn't lose its luster. Golden Axe. I'm gonna play that every day, right? And I get it. It's not for me. It's for the kids, right? I don't know. I don't know. It's something that I'm contemplating on. My wife and I both know, and my wife and I are both on the same thing. We know the kids would go crazy over. We just don't know if we want to bring it in the home arcade. Chris said, instilling in them an arcade atmosphere at a young age. They'll remember. We did, which is why we're in this community. Great point, dude. You never know what's gonna happen, right? And I truly hope that like my son and daughter like do give I'll let them do whatever they want to do, right? If they want to play an instrument, they want to become an artist, they want to be a politician, whatever you want to do, right? I'm hoping they at least dabble into some sports. I was big on sports when I was a kid. I played it all, right? I even played like roller hockey with the guys back in the day, dude. I was unbeatable. I was fast as all hell. Indoor roller hockey. I played basketball, baseball, played softball. I mean, we played it all. Football when we were kids. Like, athletically, I played high school football, and I walked on to college baseball. Now, I'm not saying I'm the most athletic man in the building, but I got enough juice in the tank to be able to walk on collegiate sports. It's pretty good. I mean, that's pretty. You got to be damn good. I mean, yes, this wasn't D1, D2, D3. It was JUCO, which is just underneath that. But I will say this: there are plenty of major leaguers that come from the JUCO league, and trust me, pitchers are still throwing 95 to 100 in there. So if you think you can step into the plate and hit that, you are better be damn sure you know what you're doing, because you can get literally killed out there. But yeah, that was, I was pretty impressed by that, and I was pretty happy that I was able to do that. And I hope that I pass some athletic ability down to my kids, because that would be, I think it'd be cool for them to get into some sports too. But if they had retro nostalgia for arcades, we do this on the spare time, that would be totally cool. Because I do truly, guys, when my wife and family and when we get a home, I truly envision us getting real arcades. Now, who knows if that's going to happen, right? And the restoration process would be phenomenal with you guys. I think it'd be a blast. Who knows, right? We could go just XL arcades and be just fine, right? With the home arcades, we don't truly know, but I think it'd be really cool owning a piece of history. Is that CornerCade lure? I love it. Yeah, kids grow up fast. The kids grow up fast. They definitely do. My kids are going to be starting school soon here, which is crazy. But oh, you're thinking a mini basketball hoop instead of the claw machine? Funny, because that hallway that you see right on the left of that At Games pinball, like you could literally put a mini hoop there. It's funny because we have curtains there. So my wife was like, we should hang the photo booth on the back of that door. I'm like, no, we shouldn't. But she's not wrong, because it's an enclosed area and you could literally take like professional pictures and stuff. I'm like, you're crazy. Like, we're not getting that. Although it would be funny. It would like complete the arcade. Like that's just a tip of the iceberg, right? We still got other stuff we're putting up, right? But it would be funny to have that. I will say this. Yeah, the BME says, they get into sports, your money will disappear faster than the Star Wars machine did. That's hilarious. Yeah, like hockey. It's an arm and a leg. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the other, like, you just want them to like dabble in soccer or something like that, and just see what's up. Play for your school, so you don't have to do it recreationally 24/7. But yeah, it gets up there. It's insane. Like, you got to do summer league. I know when I played baseball, college baseball, I had to play in a Land O'Lakes wood bat league. So in college you use metal bats. During the summer you'd be playing in a wood bat league. And we had guys get drafted out of there. I remember distinctly one game I was playing. We're just, I got my hands up. We can make me big. I got my hands up on the dugout here. We're just, hey, bad, kind of just chit chatting, talking and shit. And I'm like, hey, where's the left fielder going? And he's like, oh, dude, he just got drafted. He's got to get the fuck out of here. Like, he can't play. And I'm like, no shit, what the fuck? He got drafted. He's like, yeah, the Brewers took him with like a late pick, right? And I'm like, holy shit, that's crazy, dude. Like, if you think about it. So, a lot of fun playing baseball. I think baseball, though, is probably like my least favorite sport. I think if I were to redo it real quick, right? If I were to reset the clock, if I had the knowledge I had going into freshman year of high school, I think I would either play basketball or football. I think football would be up there too. I loved being a wide receiver is fun, but I love being a defensive back, and I love kick returning like Devin Hester, dude. I was fast. I don't know if I'm fast anymore. I haven't ran in a long time, but I was fast, dude. And I love baiting the quarterback. So whenever we would play football, whether it be flag football or you're playing with your friends, I'd always be looking the other way, knowing where the quarterback's eyes were. And I don't want to turn this into a sports podcast here, but I'd always love baiting the quarterback, picking it off, and going six down the lane here. So it's definitely pretty cool, definitely pretty fun. I miss sports, being athletic like that. But guys, if you don't have anything for me, we can get out of here. Thor KC says just looked it up. Sega's UFO catcher claw machines first hit arcades in 1986. And it was all downhill from there. You're so funny. That's awesome that you looked it up, dude. Thank you, man. 1986, that's when I was born. Chris said I had a paper route as early as the 4th grade, helped pay for sports. Mom made me earn living young. Yeah, I always said kids are Culver's, so it's like a fast food joint, a little bit more upscale than a fast food joint, but they hire at 14. And I know you can be a golf caddy at 14 too. So I'm looking at the kids. I'm like, saddle up, dude. Let's go. Because when you're that age, you want to get them working where you got 2-3 years in your belt where you saved for car insurance and stuff like that. Saved to get a car, like at least, $5,000 to make a dent into your car, because you're going to be getting your permit, your driver's license, you can be driving. So you want to have money for the car insurance, for cell phones. Like that's like some of these parents out there, and to each their own, right? To each their own. They like pay for their kids' way. I'm like, you're not teaching your kid anything. If anything, you're enabling them just to total the car, because what does it matter? It's not mine. I'll get a new one. Like, it's insane. You guys are crazy out there. But to each their own. If you got the cachet to do it, do it. But my kids will be working along with dad down the lane. It'd be cool, dude. How cool would it be, like opening your own home arcade, like not home arcade, your own arcade, like real arcade, right? And like have your kids work for you. That'd be super cool. Chris says D end and tight end here, and third as long as QB for the arm. Dude, I had no arm. So when I did play baseball, I played left field. And for anybody that knows, left field is the worst position if you have a terrible arm, right? So I was fast, I had defense, I had speed, I could hit. I did not have an arm to save my life, and I never really had an arm to throw the ball in. So I couldn't do that. So the cutoff man had to come in a little closer. I whipped it in there as hard as I could. But yeah, if I were to wind up and throw, I might throw like 47 to 56 miles per hour. Like, it's nothing. Yeah. It's funny because my kids, I still have my college hat. It's the Stormers, right? It's got a lightning bolt on it. They were wearing it the other day because I gave it to my son and my daughter. And I gave that the Firebirds hat is who I played for on the Wood Bat League during the summer. And then they had both hats. I saved them, but I kind of just gave them to them. It's like, what am I going to do with baseball hats, right? But yeah, okay. So those are the guys. Those are the updates with the arcade. That's where we're at. Those are the modding projects. As far as anything else, At Games got some pinball packs coming out. Let's swing over there since I got you guys here. I only got you guys here for once a week. Let's take a look and see what's going on in the At Games universe. The pinball packs is where it's at. So let's go ahead and share that screen. I have a ton of tabs open right now. I got a ton of tabs, guys. They're all open right here. Okay, let's go over to the website right here. Let's look. Whoa. We gotta get this. See, I got a ton of tabs open. I don't even know what's going on right now. There we go. Okay, let's see what we got for sale right here. This is bonus time right now. So pinball pack prices are going to go up. Let's take a look. See if there's anything worth getting. Now, I own some of this stuff. I don't own like this one or this one or this one or this one. I have this universal pack. I own this one right here. This one. Here's my question for you guys. I own Fishtails. I don't own these three. So Party Zone, Black Rose. Are Party Zone or Black Rose worth it? Champion Pub, is that worth it as well? Are any of these, do you guys have these? Are any of these worth it? I'm going to go to page 2 while you're thinking about that real quick. And I own, Theater of Magic. I don't own that. I own Twilight Zone, Monster Bash, and this one. When does this one come out? This one's already out. Oh, coming soon. So Theater of Magic is coming soon. Is Theater of Magic, is that better? Okay, so here, let me ask you guys. Should I get Theater of Magic? Let's go back one more. Should I get Theater of Magic, Party Zone, Championship Pub, or Black Rose? Let me go ahead and end the poll while you guys are thinking about that. So in a narrow margin, guys, I really, really do appreciate everybody voting because that's the engagement that we're looking for. X-Men Deluxe is the one that people are most interested in at 31%. WrestleMania coming in at 29%, Frogger 26%, and Darkstalkers 12%. That's awesome. That's going to be really cool, guys, because all those mods I'm going to be really happy with. Super Fab says Championship Punch is a blast. Party Zones are hard pass. Theater of Magic and Black Rose are decent. So you're saying Champions Pub is the best one out of there? Is that what? And Jason said, "Listen, all of them are worth $5 to $7. What do you think they're gonna get risen to? $10? You think they're gonna go $10 a pack? 15? You think it could be $15? Isn't that what it is in VR, like FX pinball?" Tony C, thank you so much, man, for being here. He says, "I like Black Rose the best." Tony C, we got an issue. Tony C, were you here or did you just stop by? Because we got an issue, my guy. We have an issue with your PCB and encoder board that was sent. It is like DOA, dead on arrival. So I don't know if you want me to send those back to you, but I tested those out. Did you test those before you sent them to me? Do you know if they worked before you gave them to me? He says he just got here. We're going to figure that out live, baby, and in the building. And hopefully I'm plugged into my Ethernet cable because for some reason that they're showing a Wi-Fi connection on my end. To make sure I'm still not fuzzy and I'm all crystal clear for you guys. Chris says he likes Champion Pub. Black Rose is sweet too. Oh, this is interesting, guys. Theater of Magic is amazing. I'm getting answers from everywhere. J-Rod thinks he's gonna go double the price. That would suck. That would be a real hard pill to swallow. Because I want to buy up as many Williams tables as I can before they go. Chris says Theater of Michael B says great too. Theater of Magic. He says no, I didn't test the PCB. I got screwed off eBay apparently. I'm sorry. That's kind of what I figured. So real quick, because we were talking about this, guys, I kind of assumed, and I was telling my wife and explaining Tony C. He probably bought this off eBay. Kind of did a mod wanted to do a mod project with it. Never got around to it. Was kind enough to send his ours because we wanted to actually do something, and it's like it doesn't work at all. Now I can see if I can test. I don't want to pull a mystery encoder, and he's gonna laugh if he says I'm saying this, but he bricks a lot of PCBs. I do not want to like F around with this thing, use a different encoder board to try to get it to turn on, and then brick my PCB, and now I'm screwed out of both PCBs, right? I don't want to do that, but I hooked up everything correctly. I'm not a dodo bird. I hooked up everything correctly, even tried to unplug in, plug in again, right? And it doesn't work. It's dead on arrival. So that's going to be for both the PCB and encoder board that I use, which sucks, man, because I really wanted to do that. Like, I was really excited, really hyped that those things came in. I guess we're just going to have to keep looking on eBay or, Facebook Marketplace. We're going to look around the community. Maybe Darkstalkers doesn't happen. I know that I will have, it should be here any day now, the X-Men PCB and encoder board, which I'll slap into the Mortal Kombat, and we'll kind of get that ghetto running on the weird control panel. And then once, like, maybe X-Men is deluxe, it will be the next one now. I don't know. It's crazy how just something like that can just switch. But yeah, man, I do appreciate you helping me out. But yeah, it didn't work. I hooked everything up correctly, and nothing. And then I rehooked all the Street Fighter stuff up because I was like, well, maybe it's the cabinet, right? Maybe something's wrong with the monitor or something. And all those work just fine. So I was like, oh, I was bummed because I spent a good amount of time like hooking all that stuff up and plugging all the wires in. Kevin Wong says Theater Magic is good. I feel like I should be running a poll here. There's no reason not to buy any Williams tables for $5. That's like wondering if you should buy $5 on the table before you buy the real thing, of course. I know, I just didn't want to spend $5 and it just sits there, right? Personally, I want bangers on that cabinet. I want banger after banger. So let me ask you guys this. Which tables are here, we can bring this back to at games. Which tables out of the ones we named, right, are comparable to your Monster Bash, your Attack from Mars, and your Medieval Madness? You guys recommended Medieval Madness to me, and that just went through the roof. That I love that table, absolutely love it. So we got Black Rose, we got Champion Pub, we got the Party Zone, and Theater of Magic. Out of those four, which kind of is the best? Which kind of relates to the best here? As far as that top tier table, right? Yeah, Tony, I can, like I said, I can send it back to you. If you want to, I shot you an email. Go check your email, but I can email it, or I can send it back to you if you want me to. I don't know if you want to like try to, because what you can do is if you bought it off eBay, you can get a refund, and as long as you have the product, and you can say, look, this doesn't work, I want a refund. Dan Z says Theater of Magic is that top tier table. Theater of Magic. Black Rose. Maybe we'll go that route, guys. He said, toss it. Get it out of here. I'll try to do one more test without breaking it, but I'm sure it's going to be Garbo. That really sucks, man. It's people like that make me sick. That shit happened to me on Marketplace. Not Marketplace, eBay. I guarantee you that I bought a replacement monitor for like the Mortal Kombat 30th, and I can tell you right now, that thing was DOA on arrival. But we tried any ways to decase it, hook it up, and it bricked my PCB, and it like totally disabled my cabinet. Oh, I was furious, dude. Furious. We got some more single packs coming up, maybe. We'll see. I was looking through the list on Pinside of all the Williams tables, like from the 90s, and I wanted to see how their scores compared with the ones that I loved, right? And I'm looking at, I'm like, okay, Arabian Nights, like there are some titles on there. I'm like, oh, okay, hopefully this comes out right. That'd be cool. But judging off what you guys say, Black Rose and Theater Magic is kind of where I want to be leaning to, and that's cool. Maybe I'll do that. I'll go with that. I'll go with that for right now. Maybe check out Champion Pub. We'll see. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up, guys. And there's not a ton of news notes in the home arcade community as far as that goes, but we're gonna have a lot of fun still modding. I gotta make a decision. If Ezekiel has 3 Dynamos and 2 Mortal Kombats, I think we'll be good. I don't need to go and get another cabinet as far as, with some gift cards. I could save them. It's for Amazon only kind of thing. Or should I just get the Class 81 and bring it back? Like, I'd be bringing it back for, like, Rally X at this point. Like, would that look stupid having, a Miss Pac-Man marquee with a Galaga marquee with a Class 81 marquee that has the same? And would that look stupid? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the chat, guys. I'm just curious. I'm curious to see, like, what your guys' thoughts are. Because remember, I want to get deluxe cabinets. I was kind of floating out the idea of getting the Big Blue again, but the Big Blue is, like, expensive. It's like $550. It's like $550. That's crazy. Why would they $550 for the Big Blue? There's not a lot on Amazon right now. Actually, we could probably float over there. Kind of give you guys a visual, right? Give me 1 second of your time. Let's do this here. Let's do. I forgot my wife's logged in on the computer. I'm logged in everywhere else. Okay, let's see here. Let's stop sharing this screen. Let's share this one so you guys can kind of see what's going on. So I got some opinions and some thoughtful insight from you guys. So I appreciate that. Let me make us bigger here. Let's go this way. Do I need to scroll in? Can you guys see that? We'll scroll in a little bit more. Can you guys see that? That's better. Okay, so let's scroll down here. Okay, so I'm looking at this. This is kind of like the wheelhouse that we're in right now. I guess I can kind of pass up on these, right? Because we have enough of those. So there's a claw machine sitting there at $4.99. Remember, I have some gift cards. That'd be $2.99. We got the Class 81. I don't need this, because I don't need to mod anything. And I have this, in the XL form factor. So it's like, do you do anything with it, because that was pretty much it. Class 81 claw machine. God, I wish Arcade 1-Up would do something and make something. Like, my God. The big blue would look totally cool. Like, I can make that look dope if that would be a heavily modded cabinet, but it would be awesome looking. I'll tell you that much. Look at Star Wars in there. Oh my God, look at this deal. Only 2 left for $526. Yeah, see, here it's like, come on, man. I got this for $150 with the stool included. That's why I should have just kept that. Who knew that I was gonna do what I do now? But I should have just kept that. I could have done some really cool things with that. Should I bring back the casino? Okay, that'd be so. I mean, that's hard too because I got that for $250, brand new in box. That was hard. That was hard for my wife to kind of get rid of that one because she liked that. I don't know. I'm kind of just thinking out loud here with you guys. I know I'm kind of scrolling through this fast, but I was kind of curious to see what they had just off top hand. But I was kind of looking at that, and I don't know. Would that look goofy getting a Class 81 again? Tony C, if you make big blue purple and turn it into a Darkstalkers cab, you could do that. I think I was shooting for Alpha 2. I don't think Alpha 3 was ever. I won Alpha 3 cab, but I don't think Alpha 3 was ever in that form factor. I mean, we don't get to get too technical, right? We kind of just make it our own, right? But I would shoot for maybe Alpha 2, Alpha 3. Really bummed that like that iconic arcade stuff is not coming out, man. It's at least it's on hold, right? God, man, that stinks. You know, we'd be like a month away from that stuff coming out because we're almost in May here. It's June, you know, so who knows? We'll just play it by ear. We'll take it day in and day out at a time. But yeah, thanks for the recommendations, guys, on those pinball pack tables. We'll have to check those out for sure. Other than that, I don't really have a lot of videos coming out that are on the top of my head so far. Maybe we'll do a short of trying to hook up the X-Men and stuff, and maybe we'll see how this mini PC goes. Maybe we'll do some game nights where we're playing a little bit. I know you can't play with me, but you can watch me play, right? We could go through some retro games and have some fun doing that if I can hook up my capture card properly, and we could see if we can have some fun doing that. Or I can slap the mini PC on the X Arcade, play it in the living room, or I can slap the mini PC in an Arcade 1-Up, and we can make our Tekken Dynamo, right? Let's get nuts. Let's get nuts. All right, guys. I think that's going to be it for me. I appreciate each and every one of you guys coming out.
Let's go!
That's right,
He's on fire!
Go. Whoa, that was really loud. That was really loud for you guys out there. I don't want to play any more.
Combo breaker!
Okay, that's a little loud.
You lose.
You lose.
Perfect.
You can go all night with us. Perfect. There you go.
Fatality.
I love using the soundboard again.
Combo breaker! Finish him.
There we go. That's what we should. That's how we should end the show.
Finish him.
We need we'll find some cool stuff to use, guys. So, here. We could use that one. There you go. That's if you lose. Good night, all. I appreciate each and every one of you guys coming out tonight. As always, guys, leave a comment down below what you think. I know CornerCade's slow right now, but guys, trust me, we got stuff coming. We got some mod projects coming, and hopefully, like I said, they'll inspire you to maybe do the same. I don't know if everybody's on any XL train because the XL train is kind of halted at stop 1 right now. We are not going anywhere with the XLs right now, so it's kind of on pause. We'll kind of turn our attention back to Deluxe and see what's up with that. We'll have some fun and see if we can do some cool mod projects for you guys and build up our home arcade again. So then, and guys, these are investments. We can sell them down the road because we made them cool, and you can't do. Who has a Frogger Deluxe that you know of? Okay, people want that, right? So we can always sell things down the road if and when we go to XL. If not, we stick with Deluxe, and that's what we got. So let's go, dude. All right, so where are we at here? Thor KC says, I'll definitely be grabbing Theater of Magic as soon as it's available. But the tables listed, actually, of all the tables I've played so far, Black Rose is personally my favorite so far. So we're going to double dip the chip, and we'll go both of those for sure. That sounds good. That's the sound of the pin price increase, and that's the sound of like the tariffs. You know, we got tariffs coming in hot. Yes. Or that could be the. Now this one might be loud. Close your eyes. Yeah, that was loud. I'm sorry if I close your ears. I'm sorry. I didn't want to blow anybody's eardrums off. I'm sorry about that, guys.
Perfect.
See, some of these are loud. Let's see. So if I put it down here, let's try this one now. It's a little bit too. Yes, some of them are loud and some of them are soft.
Perfect.
So like that one was much softer. That was the softer.
Combo breaker.
This one's louder. This one's louder. So
You lose.
we'll play around. I could get any sound clip, guys. So it's not like this is, you know. All right, guys, we're out of here. I know I held you long enough. We went in an hour and 36 minutes. This is phenomenal. I had a blast with you guys, as I always do every Tuesday night with you guys. Let me know down below what you thought. The episode, did you hate it? Did you say this is a boring episode? CornerCade is done or trash? We're done. We're fired. Everybody get out. Or did you think that's kind of cool that we got we're making some progress, albeit little progress. Move to week to week to week. Week to week to week. I'm going to hit up Joe Sabos tomorrow and see if we can put some heat on and get some of those graphics packages, because X-Men might be happening a lot sooner than you think, which would make my wife happy. I'll tell you that much. It'd make me happy too. I miss having that beat 'em up, and having the proper form factor will be a game changer. I won't say it might be a game changer. This will be a game changer, guys. So let me know what you think, guys. Give this video a like on your way out. Guys, as always, this is Danny from the CornerCade, and we will see each and every one of you in the next one. Peace.